Hi girl. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Looking busted, but that's just the name of the game on here. So this video, I wanted to answer some questions, so I asked y'all on Instagram, send me questions. Let me get to my, there we go, here's the post. Boom, we gonna jump right into it, girl. We ain't got the time. So boom, let's scroll all the way to the bottom. First question, how to move to a new state to start a new chapter in your life. Now, I'm gonna preface this whole video by saying this. If I've already answered this question before in a previous video, I'm going to send you to that video. The first question and answers video that I did, I talked about my move from Atlanta to New York. And I feel like some of y'all have heard this story so many times that it is, girl, you know it. Even though that wasn't really your question. Your question is how to move to a new state to start a new chapter in your life. Girl, pack your bags, get you a ticket, and move. That's how you do it. That's it. Simple as that. Next question. What things do you do to stay positive and motivated on a daily basis? I think about who I want to be, where I want to be, and I know that I can't get there if I just keep my black ass sitting in a chair. I have to get up. I have to stay moving. I have to get to work. And I'll say that I've always had that like worker mentality. I've always known that if I wanted something, I had to work for it. And I knew that because I've been working since high school, and that was the only way I was gonna eat lunch. You're gonna have to come up with your own lunch money. That's what my mama had said. So I've been doing that for so long that it's just ingrained in me. Where is my, next question. How would you go about dating if your best friend is your ex? I will go on about it as if Santa Claus was my ex. I don't care nothing about that. You're gonna have to see everything that I'm doing since you want to be my bestie. One thing I realized was that I could not be friends with my ex because it was too hard for the both of us to move on. Also, it's hard to heal from a situation if you're still kind of holding on to it in whatever capacity, you know? Even if that's your friend, if y'all aren't able to like live your life because you're still trying to consider their feelings, then you might have to take a break from being each other's friend and learn how to be your own friend for a little bit, or establish a new relationship with one another where it's not so codependent, because that's what it sounds like to me. Next question. Advice on being content in your singleness. Girl, cuffing season about to bring my mood down. But let me tell you something, don't let it bring you down. How I bring comfort into it is the same way I bring comfort in knowing that I'm not a superstar yet. You know what I mean? It's my faith. I know that I'm gonna be good. I know that it's gonna come when it's supposed to come. I'm not trying to rush anything. I trust God. I trust myself. I trust that I will attract what I want when it's time. So I don't really get too hung up on like what I don't have right now, because everything that I currently have, I prayed on and I asked for years ago. So the fact that I have it just lets me know like, okay girl, your blessings do come true. Just hold tight, just do your thing, just keep working, it'll come. And I would encourage you to like take a look at your life and think about some of the things that are in your life currently, and think about a few years ago, like were those things in your life? If they weren't and you prayed on those things and you asked for those blessings and now they're here, take a step back and say, you know what? I do get blessed. And even if you haven't received the blessings that you asked for, they're coming. They come in their own time. That's a fact. Also, girl, some of these niggas ain't loyal, so these relationships that you're seeing, it's nothing to be sad about. Trust me. The gag is, okay? Next question. Just started my YouTube. Would you say consistency is the best way to build an audience? Absolutely. How did you develop your personal style? It's so dope. I literally just started wearing things that I like. I'm just wearing things that are comfortable to me and that are flattering to me. Like when I go shopping, I think about clothes that are already in my closet sometimes. And I'll be like, okay, this will go cute with this, or this will go cute with that. And that helps me sometimes to like create looks and all that type of stuff when it comes to like putting outfits together, because that's my thing. I like to put an outfit together as opposed to like buying a dress or buying like a two-piece set. I just want to be able to pull a top out, pull a bottom out, and put them together and it be mad cute. So just taking my time and being true to like what's flattering on me and what I like. That's all. Not paying attention to other people. You can still like be paying attention and like staying up on what is fashionable and what's not, but you don't have to run your life by it. Like I haven't worn a two-piece little situation yet, even though that look is super popular on Fashion Nova. I just like the idea of like putting an outfit together. You know where it comes from? My style comes from the fact that on prom, a girl showed up in my exact same dress. Girl, on prom, senior prom. I'm on prom court and everything, girl. And this girl comes in the door with the same dress as me. And it was in that moment when I said, oh bitch, not only can I not shop where y'all are shopping at, but I have to put a look together. I can't just be coming up here with the same old, same old. So that's when it really popped off. Next question. Before moving to New York, did you have another place in mind to move to? Yes, LA and New York have always been my two places to move to. So the school that I had been applying to in New York that I got into that really like encouraged me to actually make my move, they have a New York hub and an LA hub. So really, I had the opportunity to decide like, where do I want to go, LA or New York? And I based my move off the fact that I knew I was gonna need a roommate, and my best friend was already living here in New York, so it just made sense for me to come here. And also, New York has always been like my dream city. Like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Your thoughts on getting back with an ex? Ooh, child. Listen, if you're thinking about getting back with an ex, I would encourage you to think about why you broke up with that person. And if that's still who they are, if they're still doing that thing or whatever the situation is, if nothing has changed, why are you getting back with them? Sometimes you have to question yourself like, bitch, are you just bored? And that's the thing. And like, listen, when you're spending time with someone for a little while, it's natural for you to still think about them after y'all are no longer hanging out. That's natural. So it's nothing to be like, if I'm thinking about him, then that must mean I still want to be with. No, or even vice versa. If it's a guy and girl thing, and fellas, you're thinking about your ex, it doesn't matter. Or if you're gay and you're thinking about your partner, whatever it is, whatever the situation is. I try to be inclusive in here. I be doing a lot of like cis hetero talk. I think that's the right way to say it. Just want to make sure that I'm reaching everybody in these conversations, because we all go through it, you know? How did you get out of your own head enough to start a channel? It definitely took some years. It definitely took some years, because I wanted to start a channel since I graduated from high school, and I just thought that I couldn't, because not only did I not have the materials, like I didn't have a camera, I didn't have a laptop to edit on, I didn't know how to edit, I didn't know how to film, like I didn't know any of these things. I really didn't know what my channel would be about. I just kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off. And then it became less about what I didn't know and more about the fact that I knew that other people had started a YouTube channel, and if I started one, I was late to the game, and I was just in my own head for years until I was just like, Kennedy, do you want to do it? Yes and no. And the answer was just always yes. So I just said, fuck it, girl, come on. Cause look, all this, it ain't gonna be good, you don't know what you're doing, it ain't gonna be good, that's a prediction. That ain't the truth. That's what you think is gonna happen, but you really don't know until you do it. So I was just like, girl, let them be the judge. And so it's so wild that I didn't start my channel until 2016, because I've literally wanted to have a channel since 2009. So just think about that. Like, damn, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 7 years, 7 years of literally keeping myself, holding myself back from doing something I knew I wanted to do. Yeah, don't do that. Just go for it. How I got out of my own head was, there was no other option. I had quit my job here in New York, the job that I transferred from Atlanta. I transferred my 9-to-5 job when I moved to New York, so then I could have that stability, because that's what I know. A 9-to-5 job is gonna keep you stable, you'll have your benefits, you'll be good. But that stability was also keeping me in the same headspace as I was in Atlanta. And I knew that I wanted to change. I did not move all the way to New York for me to still be doing the exact same thing. And sometimes I do think that it requires a big step on your part, whether that be a move, whether that be quitting your job, whether that be ending toxic relationships in your life, whatever it is. I do think that making a big decision that's beneficial for you, or that shifts things for you, is definitely gonna push you to continue that in other parts of your life. Like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, I'm just gonna go and do it. It just bumps your confidence up. I believed in myself more, because shit, if I can make a move to New York, I can certainly go towards this interest I have in YouTube. That's nothing. So What made you move to NYC to pursue acting when ATL is also known for acting in film? ATL, my hometown, Atlanta, they are known for acting in film now. And even before then, everybody was shooting in Atlanta, but there wasn't a lot of casting in Atlanta. And that's what I'm trying to do, girl. I'm trying to get casted. And I don't only want to be casted in Tyler Perry films. So not to say that I wouldn't love to be in one. I just didn't only want to be in that category, which sometimes I think black people in Atlanta get put into that box and then that's it. And that's just not what I wanted. I wanted to see more. I wanted to get signed to an agency. I only knew of like 2 or 3 agencies in Atlanta that were like top tier, where you can actually get booked on television and movies. And I just thought that I would have more options if I moved to New York. And to be honest, I think that I do. Next question. What's something on the business side of YouTube that took you a minute to figure out? This music and not posting music. I don't know what is okay and what's not okay. Sometimes I be seeing people post whole videos playing music and putting people on to new music and shit, but I guess they're not monetizing off of it. Like, I still don't know. I don't know how that works. I want to be able to do playlists and stuff for y'all, but I'm not trying to have my videos taken down. So I don't know how to like avoid copyright issues and playing like music that we all know. That's why I be using just like little basic audio library tracks. Where do you typically buy your glasses? They're always really fun and cute. So these glasses on my face are from Warby Parker. These are my second pair from Warby Parker. I have glasses from a boutique called Petite Optique. It's very expensive, just fair warning. I wanted to splurge on some glasses, and so I did. And also, I wear glasses every single day, so it's really important that my glasses are bomb, because it's a part of my look. And then also, I'm not mad at this foundation today. It don't look bad. It could just be the lighting in here. It's low-key dark. And what else? I have 2 glasses from Vit in New York, but I'm gonna be honest about them. The way that the glasses were made, I hate them. They're digital, and it isn't right. Like, low-key, I want to go back and tell them, like, I can't wear these glasses because they give me a headache. There's something off with the prescription, and it's like, I'm not about to fuck my eyes up even more just so I can wear these glasses. Like, also, those are my least 2 favorite pair. I'm just really mad that I bought those glasses. I don't even know. That was just some peer pressure bullshit. I was trying on glasses with my homegirl. She was like, oh, bitch, those are cute. Get them, get them. I like those. And so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cute. I don't want to say good. I don't what is that? I got the clothes around and everything. Okay. I'm just getting hyped up, and it wasn't even all that, girl. It was not. And I know better than that. I don't buy glasses just off the whim. I like to take my time. I come back and look at them again in a different outfit, different hairstyle, and I didn't do none of that. And then my other pair of glasses are from Lens Crafters. That's always a good place to start. If you want like some cute designer frames, go to a really good Lens Crafters and look and see what designer options they have. But yeah, like if you don't wear glasses every day, or if you're not trying to spend a ton of money on it, go to Warby Parker, because none of their glasses are like over $150, which is a really good price. And they have really good sturdy glasses. Like, I go to pick these up first because they're light and they're sturdy. And I like moving around in these glasses more than any of my other glasses, to be honest. Next question. How can I build my self-confidence back up? I think that the first place to start is with yourself. Not to sound so damn basic, but I do think that you have to start with yourself first. I would kind of talk to yourself and try and figure out what happened in your life that really made you start to question who you were and what you got going on. And if that situation is still in your life, I would get rid of it. That could be your job, that could be the environment that you most frequent, that could be your relationship. You know, if it's a person, place, or thing, then you have the ability to rid yourself of it. And I think that's one of the things that really empower me, is that I have recognized that I have the power to rid myself of anything that is not making me feel good, that does not make me feel the way that I know I should feel. I will really take some time to like think about what's going on in your life, and if any of those things are the reasons why you are feeling less confident, get that shit out of your life. If there's something that happened that has shifted your confidence or made you begin to question yourself, then I would take some time to have some healing conversations. And if you didn't hear me, I said healing conversations. I feel like I mumbled a little bit. But have some healing conversations with yourself and the people around you about that one situation, and see if maybe that will bring you back to self. I think that that's like a major thing. Like, if you can't afford a therapist or you don't have the time to see a therapist, you have to provide therapy to yourself, and you have to do the work on your own, which means that you're gonna have to ask yourself tough questions. You're gonna have to take the time to like sit and think about, you know, do a lot of self-reflecting. That's what you're gonna have to do. Really think about what the f is going on. And if you can't make the time to do that for yourself, then you'll stay in that place. And so I say take some time, boo, and figure out what's going on. How do you grow your YouTube channel when no one in your city supports you? P.S. I love you. Girl, I have more of a following in New York than I do Atlanta. It don't matter if nobody in my city supports me. They probably just don't know that I'm doing what I'm doing. In which case, who cares? At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I'm not starting a YouTube channel for my city to support me. I'm starting a YouTube channel because I like talking. You know, what are your intentions behind creating this YouTube channel? If it's to get people to support you, or you're looking for some type of support from folks, you might want to lower your expectations, because it's not going to happen overnight. When I first started my YouTube channel, I had a solid like 300 people who were always watching my stuff, who were supporting, who were commenting, who were doing all the things. And my channel has grown in these last 2 years to now having over 27,000 subscribers. Do you see what I'm saying? And they're not all from Atlanta. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Advice on being unapologetically you. Obviously, it's about not giving a fuck, but what else? It's about showing up for yourself. Yes, you shouldn't give a fuck about what other people have to say, but also it's about, bitch, who do you see when you look in the mirror? How do you feel about you? I would look at myself and be like, bitch, you is ugly. If I ever act like anything outside of me, if I ever caught myself trying to be like somebody else, I would not think that I was that cute. I'd be like, girl, what's really going on? How I feel about myself matters way more than how I think other people think about me, period. And I'm always in my own head about what somebody may think about something that I did or something that I said. And I'll replay things over and over again. And the way that I end up stopping all that thinking in my head is, well, bitch, how do you feel about what you did? And if I'm okay with it, then that's where the conversation stops. So it's about really f***ing with yourself. That's it. Because you may still think about what people got to say. I still give a fuck about how people feel about me, because I'm one of those people who cares about, you know, how I make someone else feel. But I certainly know that if I am okay with how I handle the situation, then that's all that motherfucking matters. And that's how you do that. Next question. What made you start doing YouTube? I feel like we've answered that a little bit. No, haven't we? What made me start doing a YouTube channel? It was just something I could do for free. I could talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. And also, I had been seeing people do it for years, and I've just always wanted to have one. I've always wanted to do a, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, you know, why not? Girl, I don't know. Best areas to live in ATL. Any apartment recommendations? I'm planning to move there from New York. Girl, you could live just about anywhere in Atlanta and be straight, especially if you're coming from New York, because all the apartments are gonna be better than what you've seen up here. I'ma just go ahead and let you know right now. You're gonna have more space, new appliances, and it's just not gonna cost as much as it did in New York. So you'll like it wherever you are. People do be thinking that it's gonna be super cheap in Atlanta, and it is in areas that are not right there in the city. But if you're trying to live in Midtown, downtown, Buckhead, it's gonna be expensive. So I would maybe look at areas right outside Atlanta, and that's for you to do your homework on, girl. This ain't no damn, this ain't HGTV. It's not the Travel Channel. How do you stay motivated? Stay is in all caps. I stay motivated by, I feel like I've answered this question, haven't I? Wait, didn't I answer this question? Yeah, I answered that question. Next question. How do you handle being the only black or person of color in an office environment? I'm not the only black person in my office, but it's definitely not a lot of us. And the way that I kind of like stay sane is by making sure that I hang out with my black people all the time. That's why I'm always with Marquise, who some of y'all probably recognize from Yahoo News. That's my little brother. That's my son. I just make it a requirement for myself, like to make sure I check in with people who I know who I relate to. Because there's some black people who don't ever speak to other black people in the office out of fear. They don't want their white counterparts to think that they're conspiring against them, or that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they be doing, but I don't hang around them kind of blacks. I like hanging around black people who are not shameful to be around people who look like them, talk like them, who've grown up with the same experiences as them. I like being around black people, period. And I think for anybody, it'll be tough to work with people who are not the same race as you. Like, can you imagine being a white girl working in an all-black office? Like, that would be just as extreme or miserable. It just doesn't happen as often. It's normally the other way around. Also, I just come there to do my job and I go home, child. I don't be asking for too much out of nobody. Advice on confidence in your purpose, looks, etc. I just believe everything that I say about myself. So if I'm speaking negatively, where are my glasses? If I'm speaking negatively about myself, then guess what? It must be true, because that's just what it is. If I'm saying it, then boom, it's gotta be true. So I just try to speak goodness into myself. And there are days, obviously, where I be like, bitch, you look a mess. And sometimes it's the truth. But I know that it's not a forever thing. So I don't stay hung up on, I believe what I say, and I say what I mean. That's how. Speak confidently to yourself. How do you deal with the negativity of being an influencer? I don't know if I've dealt with any negativity of being an influencer. Obviously, there's like some trolls who'll try and comment, and it'll be somebody who like just made their page specifically just to troll or leave like a nasty comment. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care. Like, that's just not, that type of energy is not someone who can connect with me on any level. You're just not on my level, baby. So I just don't care about that type of situation. And I think that as you rise in your popularity, you know, as you rise, so do the trolls. I just don't care enough to like pay attention to that type of and I really don't have a lot of it going on, so thank God. Where did you get your couches from? I love them. I only have one couch, and I got it from a furniture store that used to be walking distance from my house, but they just turned it into something else, so I don't know the name of it. Also, it was a super old furniture place. Like, they just had a whole bunch of old stuff in there. It wasn't like a rooms to go or something. It was some like random Flatbush furniture store. Do you use special lights or just natural lighting? Just natural lighting. Editing software, I use iMovie, and I learned how to use it on YouTube. How do you know if someone you're dating / been in a relationship with is the one? Girl, well, I like to base it off of like, dang, I forgot to do my maybe this is why it applied good, because I didn't put this on today. She has a theory. Let me wipe this off. Girl, a mess. Hold on. I like to think about, like, how do I feel when I'm around this person? How do they make me feel? Because sometimes it can be really intense, and sometimes you could be really over it and annoyed by their presence, and I'm like, okay, that's not my man. If I have really short patience with this person, then it's like, damn, this is probably not my man. And I have to recognize when it's me and it's not them. Sometimes it could just be you who's just not feeling this person. It's not a them thing, it's a you thing. And so you gotta just remove yourself from that. But I think that, yeah, you'll just know if they're the one. If you gotta ask yourself like 1,000 questions to figure it out, then I would say maybe that's not even a question you need to focus on right now. Because I don't want to say that means that they're not the one. I just think that maybe you don't even need to be like really concerned with if they're the one. Do you enjoy spending time with them? Are you enjoying like y'all's interactions currently? Just live in that. Just live and enjoy it. That's it. Just enjoy what it is now. That's all that matters. How to stay organized? Girl, I can't answer that question. I don't know. I'm not organized. Hi, what are some things you must have to start your YouTube? Recommendations? Question mark, question mark. You must have something to record on. If you don't have a camera, use your cell phone. If you have an iPhone, any of the latest iPhones, then you have the same quality as this camera that I'm using right now, 4K. So you can start with just the iPhone, a tripod, good lighting, and good intentions. That's literally all you need. You don't need nothing else. And when it comes to editing and all that, I always choose the free options first before I go trying to get the most expensive thing. Get the free option, which is iMovie, and then I learned how to use iMovie on YouTube. How do you know when you need to cut a family member off? At what part are you being too nice? This is a thing, and I've definitely had to deal with it because I've grown up with like this like embedded, like, you know, grown-ups are always right. You were the child, stay in a child's place. And what I've learned is I ain't a child no more. So in that same breath of me realizing, listen, I have these responsibilities, I have to stand up for myself in other situations, like in work or in relationships or with my friends. Like, I also have to stand up for myself in my family relationships, and everybody's not going to understand and everybody's not going to be open to it, but you're not doing it for everybody, you're doing it for yourself. And if you have to set boundaries, then that's just what it is. And they may not get it because, especially with Black families, we deal with so much, and the generation before us and the generation before them, there was no communicating, you know, your emotions and like communicating what's okay and what's not okay and setting those boundaries as a child or as the child of your parents. There was no that. But now that we have access to information and mental health and all that type, we are out here setting boundaries and letting people know what we will accept and what we won't accept. And the generation before us, I think they are having a hard time taking that in because it is so different than how they were raised. Because I think that, like, for my parents specifically, like, it was just like this is who your parent is, you just deal with it. But if I look at my parents and say, well, I've looked at how you've grown up, I look at how you handle situations currently, I don't want to be that person. I had to just make a decision for myself, because if I don't want to be like you, then I'm not going to move the way that you move. I'm not going to handle situations the way that you handle situations. So if your parents or whoever in your family that you have to cut off, if they're telling you this is wrong because I'm your cousin, this is wrong because I'm your mom, or because I'm your dad, take it with a grain of salt, because you're like, listen, yes, that is the role that you serve in my life, but you are not treating me the way that I want to be treated. So until that happens, you and I cannot have this relationship. It's tough. I don't even know how to tell you how to have this convo, because I still have to have this conversation. The unfortunate thing in my family is to just stop speaking. They just won't talk for years. They will never talk about why. It's just, we don't talk no more. And I hate that shit. That's what's going on in my life currently. Sorry y'all, I gotta butter up. Next question. How to get visible to brands? I just think staying consistent and tagging them. Obviously, like, if you make a video on YouTube, you need to promote it on your other platforms like Instagram or Facebook, and you can get their attention by tagging that brand using whatever hashtag they're using currently. If they have like a new product out and they're using a hashtag, use that hashtag on your post so then they can see you. Because if they're using a new hashtag, that means that they're checking it to see like how many people are using that product or whatever. So that's how you can get their attention. You can also like go to their website, find their PR email, and send them the video. Let them know like, hey, you can't use this video, but I wanted you to see that I've used your product and I'd love to be an influencer for your brand. That's how I got started, like getting new products and stuff. Have you ever dated yourself? For how long, and what did that look like? I love that question. I'm currently dating myself. And so I ain't the best date, because I'm always asking about a motherfucker and asking where somebody else is at. But I'm certainly dating myself. And if you don't understand what that means, it just means that, bitch, I'm single and I'm taking myself out on dates. If I'm hungry, I gotta feed me. I'm the one who's pouring into myself and giving myself love, reaffirming that I'm a good person and that I deserve love. What was the question though? Yeah, I've dated myself before. I just don't think that I was great at it. I think now I'm better at it because I speak good things into myself, and I'm really good at speaking my intentions and manifesting things that I want in my life. So just the way that I speak to myself is a lot better than it was back in the day. And so now it's been almost 2 years, and I have to say, taking breaks like this and like taking time to myself is always really gratifying, because not only is it showing that I'm not just gonna jump in a relationship just because it's there, because trust me, the offer has been there, right? It's also like, damn, like in the same way that I take my time in my work and I'm really specific about what I'll have enter my life, it's the same way I am with people in my life. And I feel like God blesses me because of that, because I don't just go rushing into things. I think there are people out there who can't be alone, and because of that they deal with a lot of bullshit from people. And you could change your perspective from that and be like, oh well, no, I just love the experiences and and sure, that's a perspective I think you have to hold on to when you put yourself in situations where you have to deal with a lot of bullshit. But myself, it's like, I'm not gonna put myself through anything that I don't have to be through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what sex feels like. I don't need to be with somebody for the sex. You know, I know what it's like to date somebody who you're attracted to. I don't need to be with somebody just because I find them attractive. I don't need to be with somebody just because they have money. I don't need to be with somebody just because they can take me places. Like, I just require so much more. Not to mention, I can do all those things for myself. So dating myself has definitely become a confidence booster in its own right, because I've acknowledged the fact that all these things that I need and want out of a person, I can really do for myself. So it's like, damn, bitch, you know, I'm learning more about me, and I recognize, like, damn, whoever does come into my life, if they can't treat me better than how I'm treating me, then look, no, you cannot, no. So yes, she has. What are some of your non-work related goals at the moment? Ooh, I want to travel. I want to travel. You know, when you earn money and you ain't never had no money before, I'll speak for myself. I went from having $0 to now having money in my savings account, and I had to talk myself out of not wanting to spend that money, because I'll tell myself, you saved this money, so you can't spend this money because you need to keep it in your savings account, because who knows what's gonna happen. So you need to just have that there. That same mentality is the same mentality I had with my room and the things that I have and the things that I brought here from Atlanta. You brought all this stuff up here, don't throw it away, because you don't know if you're going to need it. Even though I hadn't used it in years, there's just this thing about, like, I gotta keep this around because who knows what's gonna happen. But when you do that, you're blocking yourself from new opportunities. My room was such a mess, I couldn't even walk in a straight line, and I used that as a symbolic message for how I handle other things in my life. You know, I had to let go of old shit in order for me to create new opportunities, and for me to see a clear path. I have to rid myself of all that old shit that I'm no longer using. So if it's not beneficial to me, I let it go. So anyway, bringing it back to like this whole goal thing and wanting to travel, I had to tell myself it's okay to spend your money, because you will continue to make money. There's this thing in my head that tells myself that you don't know where your next dollar's coming from, and that's just not true. I do know where my next, you know, check is coming from, and you're okay, you're good. I feel like it don't matter how much money I make, I'ma always move like a girl who don't know where her next check is coming from. It don't matter how much is in my savings account, I'ma still move like it's my last dollar. And you know, I'm not mad at that, because I really take my time to think about what I'm doing before I do it when it comes to spending my money. But I definitely don't want it to hold me back or keep me in a box. So I do kind of have to like talk myself into doing things, because there is this tendency to want to just work and never enjoy what I've earned. So traveling, I am definitely gonna be getting my traveling up, because I want to keep it tan. I don't want to stay in New York for the winter because I don't have to, and that's just the damn facts. I tried to like make it make sense, and I'm like, no bitch, you simply just don't have to be here if you don't want to. All of my work I can do somewhere else, and that's just the fact. So that's on the back, this a rat, that's a rat, ain't no strings attached, this a rat, this a rat, ayy, front of it, this a rat, no strings attached, this a rat, this a rat, ayy. That's the end of the video. Those are all the questions that y'all sent me. I skipped a couple because I felt like they were a little redundant. I've talked about them before. I want to do another video like this because I like answering y'all questions. I like giving y'all what y'all want. And I know y'all have sent me like video requests and stuff that y'all want me to film. Girl, I'm gonna get it together. Dang. Just give me a second. Dang. No, I love y'all. Thank y'all for dealing with me and being patient with me as I get out of my own head. Because that's still something I deal with. I'd be like, bitch, I've seen really cute, you know, videos done on this particular subject. This is what you gonna give them. But we all gotta start somewhere, okay? So I'm gonna get out my own head and I'm gonna get it together. Thank y'all again for all your love, and I'll see you in the next video. I cannot believe I did this whole video with a bonnet on. Okay.